Good evening, everyone. Or, well, good morning where you are, Miz. And we are live. And these are the player ratings. It doesn't say in the title because it's last minute and I didn't have time to do a separate video. These are the player ratings and the European Team of the Tournament podcast. And I'm joined by Miz, also known as the other side of the coin. He does a lot of work with Dami, Matisse, and Eunice. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Obviously, I'm buzzing. There's a lot of Chelsea news that have come up in recent times as well about Haaland, and obviously Euros is now finished. Italy winning, which I'm not an Italian fan, but I'm happy that Italy won. It must be devastating.
Look, man, we did not make a good image of ourselves. And it's that select minority of England fans who makes everyone hate us. Look, I mean, like, I'm one of the most honest English fans out there. And I'm like, okay, maybe, look, it doesn't matter. Maybe it was a red card on Chiellini. So what? I thought it was a red card. But that's not the reason we lost. The reason we lost is because Gareth Southgate is a coward. He didn't make the subs properly. I mean, call me biased, which I'm not, and this has been going on with a lot of non-England fans as well. Like even fans who didn't support England. They were saying if Jack Grealish had started, that game would have been, England would have won that game in 90 minutes or the full or 120. But yeah, since I don't want to take too much of your time, would you like to plug in your socials?
Look, you can find me on the other side of the coin. Literally, if you just want to type the other side of the coin on YouTube, you should see my YouTube page. And on Twitter, all you have to do is just type in at TOSOTC_CFC. That's my Twitter handle.
And yeah, let's start with the player ratings. So congratulations, Italy. Commiserations to England. It's fair to say that the two best teams in the tournament were in the final. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get there. But having said that, this does not constitute any sort of racist abuse that's going towards Saka, Rashford, and
Sancho. Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, and before we continue, I'd like to add to the chat our third panelist. Initially, I was meant to have 6, but everyone had other plans at later on. So I would like to add to the chat, Tom. Tom, how are you?
You alright, Nick? How was you, man?
Yeah, man. Miz, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, Tom, mate. I'm Miz. Nice to meet you. I don't think we've met before.
Yeah, likewise. No, I don't think we have, no.
Well, we still haven't met because you're in Australia. I'm in London. I don't know, where do you live, Tom?
Leeds, so Yorkshire. No. Yeah.
So Miz. This guy thinks you're a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, many tend to think that.
But yeah, man. So yeah, let's start off with the home team's player ratings, which were actually Italy. Italy were actually the home team in this, believe it or not, because they because Italy was shown on the left while England was shown on the right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's confusing considering it was at Wembley anyway, but who cares?
Which are Italy. So starting off in goal, Gianluigi Donnarumma. What are we giving him?
10.
Yeah, I think he'd have to get a 10. He did end up winning the player of the tournament. So
Yeah.
Gianluigi Donnarumma, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Look, man, that's a bit harsh. That is a bit harsh. I don't think any other English coach would have got us this far.
No. They would probably put a long ball. We had Sam Allardyce. I'm glad Sam Allardyce didn't work out.
Look, we had no attacking threat going up. Look, let's concentrate on Italy first, and then we concentrate on England. So at right back, Gigi Di Lorenzo.
7.
I'd have to agree. Yeah, I'd have to agree. 7. I think it was quite solid.
We're giving Gigi Di Lorenzo a 7.
I'm laughing at the comment of what Box is saying. If you know who Owen is, don't you, Nipper?
So yeah, Gigi Donnarumma, he gets a 10 out of 10. Now Gio Di Lorenzo, you said 7 out of 10, right?
Yeah. 7, yeah.
So Gio Di Lorenzo, 7 out of 10.
What would you have said, Nippon?
I'm giving him a 7.
I think it's a fair score.
Keeping our attack quiet. So yeah. And I think Di Lorenzo would be a good backup at Chelsea.
Oh, come on. Seriously.
He's just won a World Cup. Wow.
Yeah,
the European Championship.
He's extended his contract with Napoli anyway, so good luck.
Yeah, and some of these Italian players, they don't fancy leaving Italy.
Yeah, look at all his rumors.
Okay, let's get rapid through the. Okay, Gigi Di Lorenzo. They're giving him a 7 out of 10.
Yep.
Now we move on to the centre back pairing: Bonucci and Chiellini. What are we giving them?
Yeah, Chiellini should have been sent off.
You're gonna have to give them at least 9.5.
No, yeah, I would have given 9.
Chiellini should have been sent off.
Very lucky. He's very, very lucky.
Let's get your opinion on this, Miz, as a neutral. Without bias, without bringing any bias into it.
The whole rule says that you'd have to be the last man to be red carded, and Saka wasn't the last man. Saka wasn't. No, he wasn't. Have a look at the footage.
I swear
he wasn't, and he was so far away from goals. He was literally from the halfway line. There was still Bonucci to cover. There was still quite a lot of cover. You can't give red card in those instances. But that's my opinion.
In front of him.
Sorry?
Was Bonucci in front of him?
No. Bonucci was running back to the goal.
Okay, so look, Bonucci wasn't in front of him, and Chiellini was the only man between himself and Saka and Donnarumma.
Well,
that's still not a goal-scoring opportunity. And
no,
that's a red.
You can't have a goal-scoring opportunity when you're about 40 yards away.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Remember Fernando Torres? That solo goal? He was probably the same distance.
Check the footage.
He knows what he's doing, Chiellini. Let's be real. He knows what he's doing. He knows if Saka gets past him, they're in the shit because he's not going to catch him, and neither's Bonucci. And you haven't exactly got a Kyle Walker in the England squad who's going to be able to catch up to him. Let's be real. He'll get through and he'll probably get a shot away. Donnarumma might pull his finger out his ass and save Italy again, but you know, I think if you're going to say if you want a clear red card, then I'm sorry, Jorginho should have been sent off. I'm sorry that challenge on Jack Grealish, no, that ends careers, mate. If you put your studs in on somebody like that.
Miss, we know you're not an England fan, so I want to get your opinion on this.
Look, once again, I mean, I'm the kind of man that looks at intention. Did Jorginho really intend to cause harm on Jack Grealish? That's my question. I think both were going for the ball, and Jorginho obviously did not do he came off worse looking in that particular challenge. But that could have gone either way. I can agree that could have been red card, but once again, I don't think there was any intent of malice.
So we're giving them a 9.5 each.
I think they've been immense. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, 9.
I didn't have time to do a video before. Tom? Okay, so 9.5 for both of them.
Yeah, 9.5, it's fine.
And for the... Now we're going to give Emerson.
I think Emerson was very good as well. He'd at least get an 8 for me.
An 8?
Yeah. 7.5, 8, 7.5, I'd say, at least.
I'm going 7.5. I'm asking Tom what happened. Right, and now we move on to the midfield. I'm giving the whole midfield an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Other front line, Insigne, Immobile, and Chiesa.
I think Chiesa deserves at least 7.5 to an 8, probably an 8. But Insigne and Immobile probably 6.5.
The thing is with Italy is that they managed to beat us without a proper striker. So I see. So I see. No, not 8. 8, 6. 6 insane. And 9 Chiesa. So now we move on to England. Jordan Pickford. How do you think he did?
I think he's done very well, to be honest. Even the goal, that was the equalizer. I mean, he initially saved, I think, the first shot. It was just unlucky. I think it just fell right in front. But I remember he made some really good saves as well. So he'd at least get 7.5, 7 or 7.5 for sure.
Okay. 7.5. Now the back line. Walker, Trippier, Walker, Stones, Maguire and Shaw.
I think Shaw, he scored the goal, and defensively he was solid, at least 8 to 8.5 minimum. He's been a fantastic player in the whole tournament. One of the standout players probably for England as well. Stones and Maguire, in the second half, they were getting opened up a little bit every now and then, especially by Chiesa. I would have to say somewhere around 7s to 7.5s.
Okay. So 7.5 for Maguire and Stones.
Yeah.
Walker gets a 7.
I think Walker was very strong, man. He would have to, if we're giving 7.5s to Maguire and Stones, Walker was very, very dominant on the right side. So it'd have to be 7.5 minimum. Do you know what I mean?
I've given him an 8.
Yeah, well, I can agree with that.
And now we move on to the midfield. Rice, Phillips, and Rice and Phillips.
I think Rice had a very good first half. In the second half, he was quite dominant as well, up until he was substituted off. I thought he had a very good game. So
I think he was England's best midfielder.
Yeah, I think he was. I definitely think he was. He'll definitely get an 8, I'd say, for sure. Lots of interceptions, covered a lot of ground, made quite a few, decent tackles, important tackles. So, yeah.
What do you think, Miz?
Do you reckon if Mount wouldn't have got the initial break this tournament, he'd have performed better come the end? Maybe. I think Mount, he has a different role for England as opposed to the role he plays for Chelsea. So maybe that could have affected his performance. Maybe he's been given a particular role to play, a direction to play, which doesn't necessarily bring the best out of him. Mount is someone who presses really well up front. He hustles. His work off the ball is fantastic. But that working off the ball for Mount is only great when the entire team follows it up. And I think that's been the issue with England, where their pressing as a unit is not as great as Chelsea's. And that's why sometimes Mount's work looks a bit redundant. So I'm not really sure if he didn't have a break, if he was going to be better. He got breaks in Chelsea and he still played well the games after. So I think it's got to do with the style and the manager that you play for as well, and the role that you're playing.
Sure. So what are we giving to... So Mount, I'm going to give him a 7.
I think that's a bit too high, probably. I'll probably give him a 6.5 in that particular match. I don't think he did enough in that final, but then again, that's not his fault. But 6.5 is still a decent score.
Box over here says, Box, do you want to come on? I'll put the link in the chat if you're interested in coming on. Yeah, man. I've said this, and a lot of YouTubers have said this, that if we had started even Grealish, if we had dropped Mount for Grealish, we would have actually won that game. Because look, everyone can say, "Oh, Kane is this, Kane is that." The only reason he scores so many goals for Tottenham is because he has supply. coming from both wings. Like Son is the look. He doesn't have any of that supply with England. Like with Spurs, his supply comes with Son. If he goes to Man City, his supply will come from like Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Miz?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I didn't know you were talking to me. Yeah. I have to agree. I mean, Kane obviously gets a lot of support with Spurs. We'll get a lot of support with Man City. I think he slowly came into the match. Into the tournament, especially in the knockout rounds. I think he got enough supply at times from Sterling. Sterling did assist him a couple of times, I think, in this tournament. He was always there in set pieces as well. He's not. Once again, I talk about the style and the way England plays. It's just probably not entirely suited to him.
Yeah, I'm giving Kane a 6.
Yeah, probably. I mean, he didn't do much. So, I mean, he was instrumental to Trippier's cross. So maybe a 6.5. Maybe a 6.5.
And Sterling.
Yeah, I don't think he did much in that particular match. It wasn't one of his better matches, so probably a 6.
Right. Box. Chelsea. One of Chelsea perspective. I'm putting the link in the chat if someone wants to join. Box Chelsea, if you want to join, you're more than welcome. Because initially I'd invited 5 people, but neither could come in the end. So yeah, Sterling, I'm gonna give a 6 as well. And yeah, who is the man of the match in your opinion?
I think you'd have to probably give it to. It's a tough one because the game was, as they say, a game of 2 halves. England was really good first half. Italy better second half. Donnarumma's heroics in the penalties. You have to probably give it to him.
Okay, Bonucci, good shout.
But yeah, Bonucci's a very good shout.
Best young goalkeeper in the world. I can't argue with that. He gets the man of the match. And both managers' ratings. I'm going to give Mancini a 9 out of 10. And Southgate.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, some of his substitutions didn't make sense. Obviously, his penalty orders didn't make sense. So, yeah, he didn't show enough ambition. Yeah.
So, yeah, and now we move on to the main topic. The team of the tournament. So I'm going to open up a...
Nikun, I've got to get going now, so I'll catch you around.
Oh, no worries. It was really nice for you to come on, Miss.
Thank you.
If you are ever free to come on my channel again, remember what I said about the podcast. You're more than welcome to come on my channel as a guest.
Sure. Sure, mate.
And
Yeah.
comes next season. Please tell. I will send you one after every match and just tell me whether you can make it or not.
Yeah. Okay. No problems. We'll chat about it. No problems. All right. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye now. So, chat. You've got to help me. Team of the tournament. Get your suggestions in. Let's start off with the manager. Well, actually, no, let's not start off with the manager. It's Mancini. He's been the best manager. Team of the tournament, not the team that won the tournament. Like best players in each position to get into the team of the tournament. So, yep, I'm just going to open up I'm going to open up a FIFA page. FIFA team builder. Yep. Love to see the fact that you're being very impartial and not biased. Given the fact you do support England, right, Box? If I'm not mistaken. Right, I'm going to start Donnarumma and put Pickford on the bench. Pickford. Nah, you're smoking crack. Not Pickford. I'm going with Donnarumma. You know what? Let's go with 4-3-3. It's stuck on that for some reason. Box, do you want to come? Do you want to come on the chat? Right. No worries. So chat, what we saying? No one else. Yeah, Mancini. I'm not even going to do a vote on that. Donnarumma. 2, say Donnarumma. 3, 1 says Pickford. So yeah, we're going by what the vote says, by the way. So goalkeeper Donnarumma. So, what are we saying for the right back? Hey, no worries. No worries. You're all right. So, who are we going for in the right back position? Kyle Walker. Walker, Mahele. So one says Walker, one says Mahele. Yep, so 2-1. We're going with Walker. So Walker. So we're going with Kyle Walker. 100%. Just like the manager, these are two positions I'm not taking a vote on. No, actually, we would Bonucci and Chiellini. Are you sure, Maguire? Chiellini, Bonucci. Yeah, the only reason they flopped is because they have two donkeys as strikers. And the ironic thing is, one of them actually scored. I honestly think Spain could have won that game if they had a decent striker, but we move. Okay. Wow, those are a lot of England players. Walker. Midfield. Right, let's just put Bonucci and Chiellini. So, what are we going with for left back? Shaw, Spinazzola, even though he got injured. Luke Shaw, Spinazzola close second. Looks like I have been outnumbered. Luke Shaw it is. Midfield, Jorginho, Pogba, Pedri. Let's wait to see what more of the chat says. Right. Close second. Okay. But we're going with like what most of the chat says. Like, for example, if the chat, like if there's a tie in the chat, I am going to break the tie and choose someone, if that makes sense. Jorginho. Right. Jorginho. Everyone's saying Jorginho. 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 So we're putting Jorginho. Phillips was excellent all tournament. Yeah, we're going with what the chat says. What? No. They all flopped. No. Pedri. Sorry, not all. Pogba and Xhaka. Nah. Pedri. Good point. Why is no one mentioning Locatelli or Busquets? Right. Midfield. Pedri. Sorry, Jorginho, Pogba, Pedri. Jorginho, Pogba, Pedri. Two for Pedri. Two for Pogba. One for Locatelli. One for Busquets. You know what? I'm putting Pedri in there. argue amongst yourselves who should be the third. Can't believe he's only 72 rated. Pedri. Good night, RC. All right, let's go from the top again. Pedri gets 2 votes. Sorry, Pedri gets 3 votes. So I'm going with Pedri. So, the final midfield spot, who are we saying? So, Barella. Okay, so we have 1 vote. So we have 1 for Barella, 1 for Phillips, and 1 for Pogba. No, 2 for Pogba. 2 for Pogba. 1 for Phillips and Rice. Two for Phillips. Right, I'm going to break the tie on this one, and I'm going to put Calvin Phillips. Now, what are we saying for the front line? Just so what are we saying for the front, the forward line? So Chiesa, Schick. Oh, well, he's going to be this. Okay. Yeah, Chiesa goes in on the left flank. Sterling, Ronaldo, Chiesa, Sterling, Lukaku. Right. So who we saying for striker? Schick, Ronaldo. So 2 for Schick, 2 for Ronaldo. Sorry, 1 for Schick, 1 for Ronaldo, and 1 for Lukaku. Right. I am going to make a decision on this one and break the tie. And I'm going to go for Ronaldo. Sorry, Schick. And fair play. So the last of the front three. Jack says Sterling. Zohaib Boxam, what you saying? I think Damsgaard is an attacking mid. Locatelli. Now we're on the forwards now. Locatelli is not a forward. Sterling, Chiesa. Sorry, Sterling. Sterling, Sterling. Sterling. Right, Sterling it is then. So here we go. This is the team. In goal, Gianluigi Donnarumma. A back four of Kyle Walker, Leonardo Bonucci, Giorgio Chiellini, and Luke Shaw. A midfield of Jorginho, Pedri, and Calvin Phillips. And a front line of Raheem Sterling, Patrick Schick, and Fede Chiesa. So, what do we think of the starting 11? Now, who should we name for the bench? So, that is my team of the season. And that is the end of this podcast. My next video should be out within the next couple of days. It is back to the Premier League. True. So yeah, with that being said, social media is in the description below. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications if you haven't already. And I shall see you in the next video. You have been a wonderful audience, and this is Nipun Sharma signing off. And for the last time, come on you Lions, and Forza Azzurri. Peace.